Welcome back everyone to the Try Podcast. I'm your host Darth Herder, aka Triple S, and in this episode we'll be analysing the third episode of the first season of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'll be going through what I like and dislike about the episode, how it compares to and fits with other Star Wars media that I am knowledgeable of, and also bring up anything I find interesting or noteworthy enough to mention. There might be spoilers for future episodes and other media related to Star Wars as well, so you've been warned. All that said, let's begin. Number 1, and right off the bat, I find it interesting that Vader's robotic limbs actually go under his suit, rather than his suit being his robotic limbs. Like if he took his black suit glove off, it would reveal his robotic hand underneath. Number 2, hang on, we just saw his robotic arm being attached, then his legs, but now the back part of his torso armor is being attached, and his robot arms are now suddenly missing? Number 3, since when did his helmet get put on in its entirety like this? In Revenge of the Sith, we see the mask part being attached first, then the helmet part, and in Return of the Jedi, the helmet part is taken off first, and then the mask part. Number 4, okay, so Vader here makes it abundantly clear that Obi-Wan is all that matters.
Kenobi is all that matters now.
Let's keep this in mind going forward. Number 5.
Can't you use Force on it or something?
That's not how it works.
At least it's a Force Awakens reference, the least worst of the sequels. Number 6, and here we see the devil appearing before Jesus in the desert. Legit though, this really does make me think of the temptation of Christ, plus Anakin here reminds me of the robed devil in the Passion of the Christ. Number 7, this is exactly why Darth Bane created the Rule of Two. Sith constantly killing other Sith to gain power was just bad for the Sith as a whole. The Inquisitors, though not Sith but still dark side users of the Force, are showing the exact same behaviour, infighting and arguments and power grabbing. How they operate effectively at all is beyond me. Number 8, so we see Reva holding her hand over her stomach and we even get a close-up of it. Put a pin in that because we'll come back to it later. Number 9, I hope these probes have hyperspace capability because if not, you're all going to be waiting a very long time for them to complete their very long journeys. Number 10, Jesus Christ, Obi-Wan, I don't understand you at all. You trusted him when he told you where to go to find Leia, and he was right. But then you mistrusted him telling you how to get off the planet, which worked, and now just because the person you're supposed to meet isn't around at the exact same time you are, you throw a hissy fit that you shouldn't have trusted him? Number 11. I'll just let you know in case you didn't, Freck here is voiced by Zach Braff, but portrayed in costume by John Rosengrant. Number 12. Obi-Wan, if you really didn't want her to talk, then why are you just letting her? Why aren't you butting in? Don't be intimidated just because she's a princess. Number 13. Why is it such a shock to see the Empire logo on Freck's vehicle? You've been walking past loads of stormtroopers. Were you hoping because Freck is an alien he wouldn't be connected to the Empire? Were you hoping Freck might have been the person you were meant to meet, but now those hopes have been dashed seeing the Empire logo? But what if he's just pretending to support the Empire? Or maybe it's mandatory for all the vehicles to have Empire branding on them. Number 14. Oh, so the stormtroopers are looking for a Jedi. It's a good thing then, isn't it, Obi-Wan, that you're not wearing your Jedi robes and you're wearing a mask just in case they have an image of you, just like they did on Dayu. Oh, wait, you're not. Well, it's a good job then that these stormtroopers don't know the typical dress code for a Jedi, and for some reason don't have your image so that they can recognise the Jedi they're looking for. Number 15. People laugh at the fact that the stormtrooper says it's a long way when Obi-Wan says why he and Leia are on a Mapuzo is a long story, only for the stormtroopers to hop off not long later. But I don't see this as a piece of hilariously bad writing, I just see it as a stormtrooper lying to get Obi-Wan to talk. Stormtroopers are allowed to lie too, you know. Number 16. Leia slipping up and saying something she shouldn't, I could understand. She already did it when she accidentally called Obi-Wan her friend before correcting to father when they first met Freck. But Obi-Wan, a grown-ass Jedi master, knowing they need to be careful, messing up calling Leia Leia instead of Luma is just hilarious. Number 17, and I guess the stormtroopers haven't been told that the Jedi they're looking for is possibly travelling with a young girl called Leia, since Obi-Wan's excuse for confusing Luma and Leia actually works, and they aren't arrested. Number 18, Obi-Wan saying he wishes he could say he was Leia's real father does not mean he had secret feelings for Padme. That's not a thing. If you want to know who Obi-Wan had feelings for, go watch the Clone Wars. Or if you can't be bothered, then just look up Satine Kryze. Yeah. Also, maybe even Asajj Ventress, but definitely not Padme. Hondo, yes. Padme, no. Number 19. It's another good thing that because Freck's off screen, that means he's become deaf and can't hear Leia and Obi-Wan's conversation. How convenient. Number 20. Alright Disney, when's the Brother of Obi-Wan Kenobi spin-off coming out? Number 21. Oh look, another good thing that because these two stormtroopers are off screen here, they become blind and don't see Obi-Wan reaching for his blaster. How convenient. Number 22. I guess like Daleks in Doctor Who, a probe droid's weak spot is its eye, since we know from the Empire Strikes Back probe droids can take shots, since the one-hand shot twice actually self-destructed.
I didn't hit it that hard, must have had a self-destruct.
Number 23. Oh wow, using a living shield. That's not very Jedi there, Obi-Wan. That's actually quite dark side of you. I mean, I know Freck supports the Empire and everything, but just wow, so evil to use him as a shield. Number 24.
Let it go.
Now that's how you supposed to shoot!
Okay, you must have tapped into the Force to pull that shot off as fast as you did there, Obi-Wan. Number 25. I've seen so many people mock Obi-Wan for trying to turn off the laser gate, then blast it when it won't, instead of just walking around it, and all I can say is, who really gives a shit how he got past the gate? He did it this way and got past it, so let's all just also get past it and move on. Number 26. No idea why Obi-Wan doesn't just start blasting, and I can only assume the stormtroopers don't start blasting because they have orders to take him alive. I mean, they don't even shoot when he's still pointing his blaster at them despite being on the ground. Number 27. I guess shooting a bunch of stormtroopers earns you instant trust from Obi-Wan, more so than shooting a murderous droid. Number 28. My God, the Inquisitors are like children. I'm gonna go tell Daddy. Well, I told Daddy first and he raised my pocket money. You want the praise? Fine, but we all know which kid will fight for the most in the divorce. Number 29. I don't care that there's some barrels here. You're not hidden. Stop pretending like you are hidden. Number 30. Oh, so now is the moment Leia decides to be upset about running away and be homesick, not when she almost fell to her death. Number 31. Was it just coincidence then that when Obi-Wan finishes talking to Leia and looks back up is when Talia pokes her head out of the doorway to signal to him? Or has she done it a couple of times already and was getting a bit concerned that she couldn't see him? Number 32. What a terrible design choice for a droid that Eddard Stark here can't communicate. What if there's an emergency and he goes for help? Does he have to do an interpretive dance to tell them what's happening? What's that, Ned? Little Timmy's fallen down a well? Lead us to him, boy. Number 33. A bunch of the Aurebesh on the walls of the safe house has been translated by fans and are the names of several Jedi. Rogonda, Ismarin, and Jyn Altis first appeared and were first mentioned in the Legends novel The Children of the Jedi, respectively. I don't know a lot about these characters. I own The Children of the Jedi, but I haven't yet read it. But it seems the person who came up with the idea to put some Jedi names up on the wall must have been a fan of the novel. Another name mentioned is that of Valin Halcyon, which is pretty significant as Valin Halcyon is actually the father of Corran Horn. And as I pointed out in my previous video, we may have already seen the canon version of Corran Horn. Number 34, Tala mentions how Force-sensitive children are being rounded up and you would assume so that they can be made into Inquisitors and agents of the Empire, but that can't be the case since she says they're never seen again. Could it be related to why the Empire wanted Grogu in The Mandalorian? Number 35, we get our first hint of what canon Quinlan Vos has been up to since his appearance in the novel Dark Disciple. Of course, we know of everything he got up to after Revenge of the Sith in Legends, but since Disney threw all that in the trash, we have yet to see what Disney will do with the character after Revenge of the Sith. Number 36.
The way.
This is the way.
Quinlan is a Mandalorian confirmed. Number 37. Wait, a Jedi was seen entering this camp? How did the person who reported it know they saw a Jedi? Was it because they saw a person wearing Jedi robes? How did they recognise Jedi robes, but the people actually hunting for Jedi didn't? How? Number 38. So I thought the Stormtrooper would have said the loader bot can't talk, but instead he says it doesn't understand. So he doesn't think the bot's mute, just not intelligent. Not being able to speak does not make you unintelligent. Number 39. Wow, Leia based most of her personality on Tala growing up, didn't she? Tala pretends to work with the Empire to help people. Growing up, Leia pretends to work with the Empire to help people. Tala shoots. Young Leia wants to learn how to shoot, and does eventually learn. Number 40. So Vader torturing and killing innocent people to try and draw out Obi-Wan is a tactic that's definitely not going to leave the survivors with hate for the Empire and with rebellious feelings. I can only assume to circumvent this, they'll just round up all the witnesses and imprison or execute them. Number 41. Just as there has been a debate on whether Jason Voorhees can teleport or not, the same debate is now going to rage on for decades, what with how Vader just keeps popping up out of nowhere to surprise Obi-Wan. Number 42. Obi-Wan, why are you running? Number 43. Obi-Wan's ineptitude with his saber would have made more sense if he was older. Vader just saying,
The years have made you weak.
does not excuse how Obi-Wan is still physically fit enough to still fight like how he did in Revenge of the Sith. Number 44, is Obi-Wan using Steamy Smoke here to blind Vader a reference to when Luke does the same in The Empire Strikes Back? Is that why Vader says to Luke after that Obi-Wan taught him well? Number 45, being this close to the flames should have given Obi-Wan burns a lot worse than we see him recovering from in the next episode. The guy should have looked like Freddy Krueger. Number 46, Tala reignites the fire Vader just put out with the Force, and while Lodabot picks up Obi-Wan whilst being shot at, Vader just stands there doing nothing. Vader, didn't you say Obi-Wan is all that matters? Why aren't you putting the fire out again? Or to copy the people saying why didn't Obi-Wan and Leia just run around the laser gate, why didn't Vader and the Stormtroopers just go around the fire? Wait, you can hear one of the Stormtroopers say there's no way around. I'm sorry, but what? Is the fire stretching all the way to the fucking horizon? Or is Vader at this moment deciding he's actually going to let Obi-Wan go for some reason? But then if he is, why is he allowing the Stormtroopers to shoot at him and Ned? Vader, why don't you make sense? Number 47, they lost him. They lost him? What, can Ned run at like 100 miles per hour carrying Obi-Wan and with Tala on his back? Number 48, since Tala didn't give Leia any directions when she left her, the tunnel must have no branches, because if it did and Leia got lost, that would explain how Reva got to the end of the tunnel first, both time-wise and by not bumping into Leia in the tunnels. The only way I can think of for how Reva got there first is she didn't go into the tunnels but instead hopped into a ship and headed to the port, assuming that's where the tunnel would lead, and found the tunnel's exit point. So those were all my thoughts on the third episode of the first season of Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you think I missed anything important or interesting, put it in a comment below along with your own thoughts on the episode. My most liked part of the episode goes to Obi-Wan trying to turn off, then shooting the laser gate instead of just walking around it. Screw you all. And my most disliked part of the episode goes to the final scene with Obi-Wan and Vader. Obi-Wan not being burned as badly as he should have been, Vader putting out the fire, Tala reigniting it, and then Vader just doing nothing except stare as Ned picks up Obi-Wan instead of putting the fire out again or going around. Hang on, does that make me a hypocrite? Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any advice on what I could do better for the next video, please leave it in a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and follow me on Twitter at @SSS_YouTube. I'm also on Odyssey at @SSS:83, so follow me on there if that's where you prefer to watch videos. Thank you again for watching, as I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.